everybody, it's Lynn. This is the longer version of the little video, the short I did today about are we watching too much of the TV news and online news about this very confusing and disturbing missing person story. I know I care a lot about this thing, this Nancy Guthrie story, and I hope to God she's found safely. And I sent prayers out to her and her family, and also to change the hearts of those involved in this crime. But I feel like I've been have you been feeling like maybe a little extra confused or anxious lately? I'm kind of feeling like, in my case, it's possibly from spending too much time and focus on updates on this story, because I guess some of us, we want to see some kind of a happy resolution for these poor people that we can relate to, because everybody has a mother or you're a caregiver, and this involves both of those things. And it's sad to see life turn on a dime for somebody who seems to have a good life. So I've been tuning in and getting updates, and I think all that confusing, mixed information, confusing information, everybody's input, all these voices, all these different opinions and ideas, I think it's caused me, and maybe a lot of people, some extra anxiety and confusion within themselves, within their own thinking, maybe without even realizing it. And because I've been feeling like I'm waking up kind of the last few days, feeling kind of confused and unmotivated. Now, I know also, as you can see behind me, we still have a lot of snow from the New York snowstorm here in Brooklyn. And that's kept people, myself included, indoors, not exercising as much, and not getting as much sun, vitamin D, fresh air, maybe postponing your goals that you set for yourself for New Year's. And so sometimes there are these delays, these detours in life, and these negative stories in the media, even though they're informative and they're to help people, they're also sensational to keep people watching their channels and get ratings. And in the meantime, we're kind of harming ourselves, I think. Of course, it helps to give awareness, and maybe if anybody has any kind of tips for these people, for this missing persons case, to please contact the authorities, and let's get this senior woman home safely and soon. But also, maybe we need to cut back on all of the negative information and stories that we're bombarded with on the news, on social media, because what we take in affects our vibration, supposedly. It affects the thoughts we have, the thoughts we think, and our feelings, and our thoughts and feelings come out, whether we realize it or not. They say it comes out as energy, and that energy, because what I believe is with the law of attraction, in God's universe, I believe this, that like energy is attracted to like energy. So if you're focused on this confusing story and all those feelings of being disturbed and disheartened, then you tend to attract more thoughts that are matching confused and disheartened, and that shapes your day and shapes maybe what's going on in your day or who you're interacting with, etc. So I just want to make a video about that, about getting our thoughts and feelings back to a more balanced, positive state, no matter what challenging stories are going on out there in the world and in the media. A couple of other tips on feeling clarity that I liked, that I came across today. One was by Jay Shetty, saying that we don't give ourselves credit for what we are accomplishing. I think I spoke about that in another video. So consider the progress you are making. Give yourself some credit and appreciation each day for the progress you are making, and don't have such big expectations of yourself. That was also in the video I did recently, because if we have these huge expectations of ourselves and of what we feel we could or should accomplish, if we have this big should list that we put ourselves on, we're never going to measure up to feeling good enough, because we could never reach those accomplishments if they're so extraordinary and it takes a superhero. So that was one way to feel more clear and hopeful minded each day. And the other thing was, there's a woman, a therapist, I forget her name, I have to post it below, but she was saying how it's actually normal, like with hormones and the sleep circadian rhythm at night, that it's like a neurological thing, that for people to wake up, a lot of people to wake up feeling depressed, unmotivated, feeling like they just can't get going. She said that's actually a biological thing, and there's some ways to work around that, so it's easier to start your day in a more hopeful, motivated way. Is I believe it's improving your sleep routine. One thing she said, just a very simple thing, sounds crazy, get more sleep. She said just get more sleep. But if you can't, there are ways to get back into, I believe, a more balanced circadian rhythm based sleeping pattern. So she says a lot of people who feel depressed, and I'm not a doctor, this is for entertainment purposes only, but a lot of people who are depressed tend to have issues with their sleep. And if they are able to kind of improve their sleep pattern, their moods can get lifted and they can be more balanced. So I like that idea. So I would say the message for today is kind of those three things. One is, watch less news. Even though this is a hot topic and it's important, we can do what we can. Give a certain amount of focus, then go back to focusing on your own wellness and positive focus for yourself. Because when you're in a good state, then you're connected to God's positive inspiration with ideas and solutions for yourself and others. If we stay dragged down with everybody who's suffering, we can't help anyone. So that's the one thing. Less news. Shift your focus. Let's shift our focus to not the confusing mixed messages on TV and in the news, but on a clearer, positive focus for ourselves and others. Number 2 is have smaller expectations. Oh yeah, they were saying that thing about just if a to-do list item seems overwhelming, that's another neuroscience thing, that the brain just has a hard time starting things. So have a smaller bite-sized goal, just of 5 minutes of doing whatever task you intended as a goal. Do it for 5 minutes, and then you get the momentum. So also just lower the expectations of yourself and give yourself credit for what you are accomplishing each day. And the third one is get better sleep, or see if you can shift to an improved sleeping pattern with the circadian rhythm, if you want to look that up. And I'll put the therapist information below, because we can feel better in life. You really should be able to have some more joy and not suffer as much. A lot of times that suffering is needless because it doesn't really help matters, and it's just from where we're putting our focus. And I think many of us have been putting our focus on this confusing, disturbing story about this missing person this week, and maybe focus on a happy, healthy, quick and speedy, God-based solution somehow, God energy filled solution for the Guthrie family and anybody who's missing, any families involved with that. Then let go and let God, and get back to focusing on the positivity and blessings in your own life and the positive goals and dreams that you have for yourself and to share with others. Let's get back to some clarity. Turn off the TV and the news. Have a great day. Please like and subscribe if you resonate with this, to get the message out further. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.